So the season premiere of Star Trek Discovery is in a few weeks. Yeah, nobody cares. We're now 2 episodes into the second season of the Orville, also known as the real Star Trek, and thus far it has proved to be something that is somewhat of a rarity in science fiction these days. Actual character development. Go figure. While color me disappointed, I was expecting nothing but flashy CGI effects and some kind of morality tale to tell me what a terrible person I am. And what's this with taking a balanced approach and actually learning things? Balderdash. But yes, the first 2 episodes of the Orville's second season were both character driven, and actually dealt with real-world issues within the metaphorical context of science fiction. What, you mean like Star Trek did before it went woke? You don't say. There is also some cause for concern about the Orville's future, which I'm going to cover at the end of the video. First, let's take a look at the first 2 episodes of Season 2. Loggia, the season premiere, dealt with relationships. We start with the fallout of the divorce between Grayson and Mercer after the blue explosion in the pilot episode. We learn that Ed is having a hard time getting over his divorce, and is hopeful that Kelly is interested in starting over, only to find out that she's dating a school teacher. While told from within the lens of comedy, we actually get an honest look at depression through the eyes of Mercer. We see the emotional fallout of his divorce and his eventual letting go. The relationship motif is given more of a comedic look through Alara, which provides a nice counterbalance. The other main plot point involves Dr. Finn and issues she's having with her teenage son, who has started acting out and hanging with the wrong crowd. One of the many things that's missing from Discovery is that none of the characters seem like real people. It's more like how people would be portrayed if they were written by a robot. This plotline hits home to many people currently trying to raise teenage sons, and actually gives them something to identify with. Simultaneously, we get to see things from the perspective of her son, Marcus, showing things from multiple perspectives. What a novel idea. Starting a season with a character-driven story might seem like a risky move, but that's because modern television all too often emphasizes spectacle over depth. This was a bold but wise move on the part of Seth MacFarlane. It sends a direct message that the Orville is not only about spectacle, nor is it simply about comedy. This is a show about real people. MacFarlane said he was going to tone down the comedy somewhat in Series 2 to focus more on science fiction and characters. This, perhaps more than anything, is why many people seem to be connecting with the Orville, while running full speed from other franchises as they burn to the ground. The character focus was further explored in Season 2's second episode, Primal Urges, which was actually a carryover episode from Season 1 with a few reshoots. This episode was the direct sequel to About a Girl, probably the strongest episode from Season 1. The way this episode manages to meld serious issues with comedy is a masterwork of writing. We get a futuristic take on porn addiction, and some, shall we say, unique images of Bortus trying to satisfy his primal urges, while avoiding the, quote, sexual event with Clyden. He keeps his extracurricular activities secret from Clyden, and Clyden, feeling ignored, attempts to divorce Bortus by killing him, which, according to Moclan custom, means stabbing him to death. I love this species. They're so wonderfully violent. This divorce fails after Dr. Finn brings Bortus back to life. We then get to have a discussion about different cultures through, once again, the metaphorical lens of science fiction. Mercer orders Clyden off the ship, but reneges on this after a plea from Bortus. They are then forced to attend couples counseling with Dr. Finn, and amongst a few hysterical exchanges, we learn that Bortus is harboring resentment after the events of About a Girl, where Bortus and Clyden went head-to-head over their daughter's sex change. Bortus does not think he can forgive Clyden for effectively forcing this through the Moclan legal system. The episode takes a more humorous turn with serious undertones. Apparently, the Orville's porn selection wasn't enough for Bortus, so he acquires black market porn, which results in some interesting images gracing my television screen. Clyden ends up walking in on Bortus because apparently the environmental simulator doesn't have locks. Seems like that might be an important thing considering what appears to be going on in there. Needless to say, this doesn't do much towards repairing their relationship. Things become even more simultaneously hilarious and serious as the Orville takes on more real-world issues. The lesson here is always make sure you have decent internet security, folks, as Bortus's Moclan orgy porn infects the entire ship with a virus. The Orville must be using Norton. This works into the episode's B plot, which is the evacuation of 75 inhabitants of Nixia, as their planet is about to be destroyed. Bortus is reinstated, as him and Isaac are the only two capable of surviving the radiation and head down to the planet to carry out the evacuation. The scenes on the planet are heartbreaking when it is revealed that they can only evacuate 30 inhabitants, and a lottery is held. Then the A plot runs right into the B plot, as Bortus's Moclan porn virus completely disables the Orville, and it heads straight towards the supernova that is about to destroy Nixia. This might have been a character-centric episode, but But the scenes at the end as the ship is being sucked into the supernova are epic. See folks, you can have character-centric episodes, but that doesn't mean that they will be completely devoid of action. The Orville manages to escape after Isaac manages to neutralize the virus. Mercer is less than happy with Bortus after his Moclan porn virus nearly got everyone killed, but gives him a second chance after his actions in saving the Nixians. The episode ends on a positive note as Bortus and Clyden agree to work things out. So, what these two episodes demonstrate is that while most other franchises are only interested in proving how woke they are, the Orville demonstrates that we are dealing with real people in real situations, at least situations as they would play out in science fiction. The Orville is not woke. If it was, then the events of both these episodes would play out quite differently. In Loggia, Mercer would have been written off as a toxic white male stalking his ex-wife, Alara would have been harassed by her date, and Dr. Finn would have blamed all her problems with her teenage son on evil white male oppression. In Primal Urges, Bortus would still have been male, but Clyden would have been a female character. Bortus would have been portrayed as nothing more than a porn-obsessed, neglectful, and patriarchal male. The reasons for this would not even be addressed. While the Orville does give us hope that the current entertainment wokefest might be coming to an end, I'm very sad to say that this wonderful show may be in trouble. While Loggia held steady in the ratings at 5.68 million, Primal Urges saw a significant drop to 2.82 million, which is a series low. This is not good. While the show has a very strong core audience following, it seems to be going unnoticed by much of the general public. Perhaps the year in between seasons might be partially responsible for this. If we want the show to continue, then we need to support it and tell as many people as we can about it. We don't want the Orville to become another Firefly, something that was great but ended well before its time. I really wish I could finish this video on a more positive note, but given that Fox, soon to be Disney Fox, has a propensity for canceling underperforming shows without giving them a chance to recover, we should be worried here. I can end on an amusing note though. Remember when critics slammed the first season of The Orville, while audiences loved it? Well, now it looks like they've changed course. Sorry guys, nobody's buying it. And that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter. And as always everyone, thank you for watching, and have a great day.